My wife and I have a bet, Sean, as to how long it would take for you to get to Ayers.
Well, look, in fairness to you, when I first raised some of these issues, Jeremiah Wright and Bill Ayers, you know, I remember right on this very program, you used the term no guilt by association, but I think these are really troubling issues that have emerged, and am I right that you kind of agree with me?
Yeah, you are right. It's how you bring it up that matters, and very frankly, I think the American people are quite aware of both Ayers and Reverend Wright, and I frankly think that I agreed with the end results. I thought, tactically speaking, it was not wise to bring this up in such a, choose the word, ad hominem way. The American people's values are far different. They don't want Bill Ayers anywhere near the candidate for the Democratic Party, and he's going to have this hung around his neck or around his ankles for the rest of the general election.
Well, can I say, and I'm just going to speak for myself here, and I don't know what everybody else is doing, but I don't think we brought it up in an ad hominem way. There are still unanswered questions. And I'll give you an example. Bill Ayers, he's still unrepentant. We have a picture of him stomping on the American flag. Nobody's asked the question, why did you sit on a board with the guy that bombed the Pentagon, the Capitol, New York City Police Headquarters? Why would you give speeches with this guy? You wouldn't do it, Jack Kemp, and nor would I.
No, I wouldn't. And let me take a minute to answer that. There's no doubt that that is right, and that is of concern to the American people. All I'm suggesting is his foreign policy views, his views on the economy, his views on destroying NAFTA or renegotiating NAFTA, turning our back on Colombia and Latin America, raising income tax rates to 52.5%. Those are issues that I think far outweigh the other issues, albeit these are issues that I think you've brought wisely to the forefront, and it's going to be part of the general campaign.
I want this to be about the war in Iraq, about immigration. I want it to be about lower tax rates, about energy independence, about free market solutions to health care. I'm with you on all those substantive issues, Jack. But I want to bring up one question about John McCain that has come up in the minds of conservatives just in the last week, when he criticized the North Carolina Republican Party for their ad that mentioned Jeremiah Wright. It got conservatives angry. When he was bragging about the Gang of 14, it got conservatives angry. In spite of what I thought I understood from my interview with him, he talked about, once again, the need for comprehensive immigration reform, which I know he was telling me that he had gotten the message, and a lot of people thinking that means McCain-Kennedy again.
Well, Sean, with all due respect, he has suggested that we close the borders, number one, and make sure that it's certified by the governors on the border states. So that's number one. Number two, he suggested that eventually we're going to need some form of a guest worker program, and I think most men and women of goodwill believe that as well. And what you do with 12 million people who are here, how do you, we're not going to send them home. It would take a fascist-type police effort to throw them out of the country. So what do? Do we keep them under the table? Do we keep them in the shadows? Or do we find over 12 years a way to integrate them and then throw out the rascals, throw out those criminal elements? And I think John is right on that, and he has a great chance, by the way, of picking up tremendous support in the Latino Hispanic community, whose values, Sean, are not that different than yours.
No, I can only tell you I'm getting a lot of reaction from conservatives in the base, and there is concern over his conservative credentials, and it was brought up to light once again this week with those issues. But I think this is an ongoing debate that two friends are going to have for a long time. Thanks for being with us.